Hello, everyone. Here we are on our eighth and final exploration together. I'm going to miss my intrepid co-explorers of Tai Chi. And I just want to say, before we start, it's just been a real pleasure to have a group that is so interested in asking questions, in trying to truly explore. And we do a lot of crazy things in here, and there will be more today, or repeated more today. So we'll see. So what I'd like to do today, I'm going to get my notes here just to remind myself as well. I really want to build on everything that we've learned so far. So anything is fair game, but in particular, I'd like to focus on how our bodies store, direct, and release energy, and sort of what's involved in that. Now, you hear a lot of folks talk about that, and I'm not an expert in any of this. So if you're expecting expertise in words, that's not my strong suit. What my strong suit usually is helping you begin to understand it in your body. And so I'm particularly interested today where you're like, I still don't get it. I'm not feeling anything, and then we'll see what we can do. And with the following warning is that some of these things you don't feel for a long time, but interestingly enough, people talking about it and keeping talking about it keeps a part of your brain looking for it. And as you're practicing and as your body gets more and more familiar, one day you find it happening to you. I want to give you a very personal example here because it totally startled me. I was doing, and we did this, why am I having trouble?
Play the lute.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. Was going to be one of two. Exactly. Play the lute. It was something I learned in first section. I did all the time when I did the long form. One day I'm doing the long form, and I've done my brush knee. And I go to do strums the lute. And the feeling of that was totally different. And this was the feeling I had. It was, now remember, I'm the person who has bizarre thoughts about what's really happening, right? Right? Because my body recognizes something. So for me, it was Elastigirl. Do you remember Elastigirl? So I've done this. And then as I went forward, my arm got really, really long, so long that it was springy as it came pulling back. And it was all knitted together. I felt like a rubber band that expanded and came back, and expanded and came back. And I went, oh, that's relaxation at work. I've yielded. I did this. They grabbed my arm. I yielded to them. But in the act of yielding, in a way, I was storing another kind of energy because I was getting like a rubber band that stretched. Got it? Equally at all points. And then as I pushed back, it got to contract. Now, you can't see me be Elastigirl because I'm not. But what was very cool was I felt it. I felt that in the last 12 months after, whatever it is, a decade or more of doing Tai Chi and longer, So I'm not saying you're going to feel like Elastigirl, but someday or something else. But that was my most recent real experience. People have been talking about it. I think I did it sometimes, but you know, somehow it totally revolutionized what it felt like to do that. So what we want to do today is maybe find one of those for folks. And I'd like to go, oh, by the way, officially, I want to thank Donna for the fact that when the whole internet system in our area for literally fiber optic underground went down. I mean, this was very weird, and it was down for 10 hours. When that went down, Donna just very comfortably and capably came, and you all rose to the occasion and helped her out and kept the class going. And it's not something that I could put on the video on YouTube because it was showing all of you, right? But and we promised not to do that, but it was really lovely, and you did a great job. So congratulations.
Thank you, but I thank everyone for chipping in on that. So
yeah, it was very true. Everybody had really good ideas, and that's what we are, right? We're explorers together in this, and Tai Chi community is really, really important. So enough of talk and personal story. I want you to think, if you have, I'm happy to hear your stories, and I'm happy to have you email them to me as well if there's not time today. Can we go back to push? Because I'd like to see what we can feel. First of all, let's go back to some of the things. Oh, first of all, before we do any of that, we need to warm up. We should have been warming up. So let's jiggle. Let's jiggle. You're going to need a body that's warmed up today if you want to feel stuff. Oh, lovely. Oh, Gail, you've got like not only your gorilla on, I think your gorilla's kind of dancing. so she's got, yeah. Oh, look at those shifts. You know, so yeah, exactly. Swing. I want you to have this sense that your joints are kind of loose. So take a moment. Actually, we should do a little with our heads. I have to be really slow when I do that because, you know, I did judo for many years and I've got some arthritis. So it's not, but you do it however you do it, gently. Get your heads going. If you have one of those necks you can do anything with, go right ahead. You know what will keep you safe. And then let's get, you know, and again, you can do whatever you want with your body, but let's get those joints going. And I want you to kind of be like, I don't know, like a mannequin that can hold itself up. But when you start working out a joint, you know, it'll just go wherever it's going. So get those shoulders done. How about this one? You know how we do this? Can you like come in? Can you come in, go out and relax? Come in, just recess that chest. You see? Recess that chest without your it kind of looks like my shoulders are coming up, but they're not really. And I'm not pushing them forward. I'm just making sure there's a bend here. It's very hard. I couldn't do that for years either. But you know, that's a joint too. And then let's get your elbows, you know, however you want to do it. Nice. Yeah. And your hands. I'm not so interested in you doing what I'm doing, as I'm interested in you feeling your joints, right? And getting a sense that they move, and being aware of anything that might hurt, right? Nice, really nice. I see people doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah, we've got some moves going on, we've got some stretches going on. And then if you can either on one leg, you know, get that, I guess you have to go on one leg in order to get that ankle. You might even get the knee that way. I don't know, you could get the hip that way too if you want. I'm gonna be careful about bringing mine up today. I've had some sciatica, but you know, you can do whatever you want. Nice. Whatever works for you. Yeah, yeah. Donna's like opening and closing. That's nice. And of course, there is the ever popular knee bumps, where this side is quiet and the other side opens and closes. And then you reverse it, right? Nice. Because you always want to be able to open. So a little bit of gorilla walking. This should look a little bit almost like Tai Chi, like what were we doing yesterday? Like the walking, the zigzag steps, right?
Walking Dead.
That wasn't what I meant, but it could be. It's the season, right? Or the gorilla walk, you know. Whatever works for you. Are we warmed up? So we've thrown balls and we've pushed cars, right? And we threw frisbees really far. We threw them short, right? But we threw frisbees really far. So these were 3 things that we've done recently. And if you want, we did Elastigirl, right? So how are we feeling about pushing? Or throwing or whatever? Is it? Shall we look at push? Do people feel like they can push a car without hurting themselves? What I want you to do is this, and you can. I'm going to go like this so you can just sort of see me a little better. But I want you to really think that you and your best buddies is like 4 of you. So, you know, we have plenty here to do it. And you're going to get behind a car like you did when you were crazy as a teenager. Let yourself be a teenager. So set yourself however you'd set yourself. And there's your 4th buddy is in the front seat. You know, they're going to put it on the gas, right? And you're stuck in the mud, right? So I want you to get so that you're ready, right? You're ready to push. And I want you to think about what that feels like. Just ready to push. You're kind of telling your friends, I'm ready, let's go. And somebody says, go, and you go, right? So let's do it. Get ready. Push. Okay, let's try it again. Ready. What does it mean to be ready? Feel it in your legs. Feel it in the arch of your legs. Feel it in your hands. At that moment when someone's counting down, 3, 2, 1, 0, what happens right at that moment you're getting ready to push? Does anything else happen? Here we go. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, push. Okay, so what happens? What happens at that moment when you're ready? Like you can get into position and then they start counting. Does your body do anything different to get ready?
I leaned in a little more.
You leaned in a little more, okay.
Expecting it to be hard. Yeah, I felt myself kind of get ready.
There's an expectation, right? Okay. Do you feel less connected or more connected? And what's connected at that moment that you feel ready?
More my hands.
So your hands feel connected onto something. How do your hands feel with the rest of your body?
Everything's ready, prepared.
Everything is ready. What do you mean by that?
Just
you don't know. Okay,
it's like
that works.
Spring that's wound up and ready to release.
Wound up. What's it mean here? Because we're not turned, wound. What's it mean to be wound up in a push?
Well, I mean, to me, that's the storage, but
The storage, right. And that's what we're looking at. What does it mean at that moment you've got storage, but you are ready to go? Oh, Gail, I just saw it in you. Did you feel something that you did? You were like this. You were like, it was so interesting. You were like this because I'd been talking, and then you did this. I don't know if you can even see that, but I saw your body change. It was like you did this little circle, and your bottom half and your top half hooked. Yeah, you're nodding. Hooked together in that moment, right? Yes. So does anybody else get that experience? Let's push card. Yeah, Erlyn.
Yeah, because when I'm set, I'm very aware of the potential in my back foot, feeling that potential and thinking about how that potential is going to be used in my hands.
Right.
There's a relationship there that I'm very aware of, that's going to go from there to there. And I can feel it. I can feel that.
All right, so let's count down again on what we're doing. I don't care what your form is like, you're pushing a car, right? So get into position with your buds to push that car, and then I'm going to count it down. 3, 2, 1, push. So right as I get to push, to me, that connection happens. Erlyn says, I'm conscious of my back foot. Is that what you're conscious of? And the back foot being ready to push?
But I'm also conscious of where it's going. That relationship is what you described is what I'm feeling. That connection between the back foot and where that energy is going to go. I feel that connection, but I feel the potential in my foot.
So you're not just connecting. So yeah, I'm with you on that. So we're coming back. There's this moment when we're really ready to push. You have to be really ready to push. At that moment, somehow the bottom knits together with the top, and you are ready, whatever that means. And as Erlyn says, you are ready for what? You are ready to push with your back foot. Do other people feel that way? Can you experience that push? Push. Push. Remember, it's a car. All right. All right. So is that feeling like anything to you? Let's do one other thing. Be careful. The car isn't going to go far, but I want you to be prepared for the fact that we almost got out last time into this mud. So if you need to give one more big push, but then John, who's not here today, who's in the car, ha 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 ha, maybe on the East Coast, but that's all right. We'll push him from here. John is going to get the car going, right? When he gets the car going, please don't fall down. Ready? Here we go. And ready, 3, 2, 1, push. How did you keep from falling down? Let's do it again. Don't fall down. Don't fall down. Here we go. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, push. How do you do it? You have a sense of that?
Front foot.
With what?
I'll push it. You're pushing back with your front foot to stop you from continuing to just keep going into
Let's
the
give
mud.
that a try. Whatever foot is forward, whichever foot is your preference and is forward, let's come back and let's not fall over or be taken by surprise. We're going to come back, get ready. 3, 2, 1, push, stop. Did you push back with your front foot? Did you push with your other foot first to push you forward? Try again. 3, 2, 1, push. Push back. Anybody feel that? Yeah, Tia, cool. Berlin, cool. All right, this is something that you will feel on some move first. And then you'll start to feel it throughout the form. You know, when we do our slow form, and right at the end in slow motion, there's this little tiny moment. That's that little moment of push back. And that is securing your feet anew too. And it's giving you back your sort of center right here. Because what's happened is you've pushed down to put action, reaction, right? Gail, you were asking about this before, right? The physics kind of action, push down, reaction, up. I'm going to just do it this way. My weight's back here because you can do it with a throw. I'm a throwing kind of person. Action, reaction. So I push down, the reaction comes up my leg, my center turns, and in so doing turns my body. And because my hand is all knitted together like a whip or like Elastigirl, sure enough, I can throw. But once I do that, I'm gonna go like this unless I push back at the right moment. So for those of you who haven't had it before, yes, Gerlin.
So since you showed this particular move, brush knee.
Yes.
So the arm that comes back to the corner, you're storing in there, and then it comes to your shoulder, and then is it kind of unifying with the back leg energy at that point at the shoulder, and then everything goes like, I mean, is there like a little bit of a split, and then when you get that to the shoulder, everything kind of, the energy comes together to all, you know, because it's coming back behind your back foot.
So I already gave my qualifier a while ago. I don't want to say something that's wrong, so I'm going to tell you my impression.
That's what I was asking. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm going to tell you my impression. My impression is that when we really throw, we are stored back here. You know, we are in, I mean, it all depends on the kind of throw we're doing, right? So I could throw from here, but I'm not fully releasing my whip until, yeah, I don't know. I think its trajectory is all the way back here. So I think the analogy that's coming to my mind is like, I'd love to talk to one of those rhythmic gymnasts about how they really do all of their ribbons and things like that. You know, it's like just amazing what they do with their ribbons, right? And then they're doing something else with their body but they're still keeping the rhythm. It's like we would do it with a sword or a saber or a fan, right? It's something else. This is something else, right? Just like we would do with a sword or a saber, we're coming back, and we are. I mean, this is what we have. We're turning here, and we can choose what's connected solidly and what is going to swing. And we can make little tiny modifications on when we release them in order for it to be, you're swinging the whole forearm, but then you might be swinging something else. So that's my impression. I wouldn't get too close on it. I would let your body throw, because your body knows a whole lot more about throwing than your brain, I think. You all threw frisbees, right? I mean, you did exactly the right things to throw frisbees. It's different from throwing pies or throwing a baseball or doing a shot put, right? And it's different from this, but part of what we were talking about is same, that you're storing in the back and we can talk about those varieties of ways in a minute, but you're storing in the back. You're knitting your bottom and your top together in this interesting, relaxed way, and you're letting the middle of you control it. So you're pushing down, reaction, coming up, control with timed turns of your body, and propagate with your spine. So you can propagate in push, for example, a wave of that energy up your body and out your arms. So, Tia, you have a question or a thought, something to share?
It's actually Gail, but
I'm sorry, it's saying Tia. I know it's
yeah.
Gail. Oh my gosh, I even know it's you, but I really do. I'm nearly face blind, but I do know who's who. You're just talking where it says Tia. There you go. Okay.
No, I was just thinking that I really like your rubber band analogy, because when you release the you stretch the rubber band and then it snaps back, but it snaps back to more than center, which is the push or whatever, but then it comes back to neutral. So I feel like I'm releasing and then I come back. I settle back.
Settle is the perfect word. That's beautiful. In fact, Master Jan will talk about central settle down. And that's, when you are earthquake, right? Well, you feel it when you're ready for the earthquake. You feel that central settle down. No matter what position you are in, you feel your body knitted together, but in particular, your lower body is heavy and your back there. And that's interesting. So when you come forward and then we come back, which puts us in this great position to then, this is another way we're doing the energy, right? So as you said, we're expanding and we're coming in, and then we're shifting our weight. We're also turning. Look at where my shoulder goes when I turn. That's like if they're holding on to me, that's a pull. I'm either going to slip out or bring them with me, right? So I'm going to come back like this, but at this point, I can push with this foot, and I can't explain this one at all, but at some point you feel it. You know, it's like it is indeed it. You know, it is indeed very similar to the others. You know, how it's propagating inside my body, I don't know. I don't have all that. Someone else, we can look that up somewhere else. So terrific, great so far. So let's do push again, and then let's see what else we can find out. Okay, let's look at these parts a little bit. So in push, we're gonna use your car analogy or not. We're gonna come back. There is a contraction, and we're storing, and there's this moment of readiness. You've knit your lower body and your upper body together, and your body is ready to have the energy go through it. Then you're going to push with that back foot and push back with the front at the end. Again, back over the ball and push back. We have a term for this push and push back, and I can't pronounce it. Donna and Erlyn, you may be able to help me on this. It's like dong chung.
Dung and Chung is how I hear it. Yeah.
I hear it that way. It's not spelt that way.
Yeah.
And so it's the two parts of that tension between your legs that keeps you grounded. And remember, we want to ultimately be on our bubbling wells unless otherwise instructed, as one would be here, right? Unless there's a reason not to be. You want to be on your bubbling wells at that moment that you do that. So whichever technique you're doing, throwing frisbees or pushing or whatever, every part of every foot is right on, and your arch. You can always see that arch better if you're here, right? That arch. Because that arch also comes because, you see this? Because your spine is straight down. So that helps that arch to come. And that's what you do when I call earthquake, right? That's what you do. That's most everybody does. You get yourself down and you arch. So yes.
When you were just doing this, that's exactly where we cut out last lesson. You were showing that.
Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to do this pushing first, but we could do the where you folks went to too is another thing. I was doing this, right? I was doing this. So this is, can you let them hang? Can you just let your arms swing? Can you like say, I want to throw this arm forward and see what happens? Can you like, I don't know, just throw it forward, let it swing. And you can do that with push. It's another way to feel it. Just let them loose. It's hard after you've been doing the other part, but just come back and push, stop, and see what happens. So I find this a very hard activity. Back and set yourself as if your arms were up. Now you're gonna push. See, yeah, Gail, there they go. I'll get where I can see. I'm going to do the other leg for a while. So come back. You got to pretend in your mind that you're set, right? And you got to keep these really loose. And then and feel that back leg. And then when you're ready, you're going to push. And don't try to throw your arms. Just let it happen. See what'll happen. Come back. Then you know you've got it. Push. I mean, you can see, I was doing it like you can sort of suddenly do the energy. That's one way to do it. And you'll feel it both. It's not very elegant, but you can do it that way. Or you can be really smooth and it'll still work. In fact, probably work better. When your arms are up here and you've knit your body together, you will have that throw of throwing your arms. It isn't that you're not still giving it structure, right? You'll still be giving it structure. So it isn't like this, where it's just totally relaxed. But it's that relaxed, a different relax. It's that connected structure that we call relaxation, where there's Elastigirl. It's that little bit of room between all the little joints and all the little tissues, and you can let them go and expand, and then you can let them contract. And you can do that with your body, and we do a lot of that in Tai Chi. We should try this with, or Lynn, you wanted to say something? No? Okay. Let's, any questions? Are people feeling things? I don't want to be pushing. Are you feeling like, so? Yes, or Lynn says that she's feeling some. Okay, Tia. Okay, Dorothy. You don't have to feel everything, right? That's not what it's about. Again, it's about putting some of this in your head. You're going to hear it while you're doing your Tai Chi. And someday you're going to go, oh, like happened to me with Elastigirl. You know, it's just going to be like that. Let's throw some Frisbees, because it's a little different than what we've done so far, right? And then see how that feels. So I don't so much care about us walking, but remember we were kind of doing them this way, and it's kind of nice to do them on both sides, right? But I'm not worried about your footwork right now. So if you put a foot out like this, and you get that, we tossed Frisbees. We tossed Frisbees. We tossed Frisbees. And you can do that locally like this. Or you can just decide that you're going to hold the rest of your body, except right here. See? You can throw it like it was a weapon if you want, by just turning your upper body. Yeah, nice. But we're usually like this, right? Our foot's on the ground. And then take that Frisbee. You can go ahead and hold it if you want. Take that Frisbee. This hand can do whatever it wants. The actual, pardon the wild horse's mane, it comes down like this. But I want you to turn, throw. But I just want you to do, that's what's going to happen. But you're just going to throw the Frisbee really far. You did this last week. So little throws to start with. Just little throws to start with whatever hand works for you. Whatever hand feels best. And now, oh my gosh, somebody says, throw it to me. And they're way over there. Way, way, way far away. What do you do? Yes. Nice, Gail. Yes. Don't throw with your arm. Throw your arm. Better. Better. Your arm is going to travel with your turn. It's actually going to accelerate through the turn. Yeah. See if you can throw your arm with your turn. Make sure, see my center? Where you want to make sure that you don't end up like with a big spiral, right? I mean, there is, you're going to go from a tip this way to a tip that way too, but you're mostly just turning. Yes. And if you really think of throwing a Frisbee, your hand will be almost in the right position if you just open it at the end, right? I mean, we've done that, right? Whomp, right? Do you push back with your, so let's look at all these moments. So you're going to do a big throw. I don't care what it looks like really, right? You're going to do a big throw. You have a Frisbee. You're winding up. You're going to throw. At that moment you're going to throw. Is there that ready moment? What happens with your lower body? Like 3, 2, 1, throw. Right. So come back. Your weight is mostly back, 90% back at this point, right? You've got you're hiding a little bit. You're hiding your Frisbee. Your friend shouts, "Throw me the Frisbee, please, stop stalling." And 3, 2, 1, throw. Nice. Nice. So, yes. Oh, it's much smoother. It's much better. So can you find that ready moment? Can you find, it's hard because when you put your mind there, you can even stop and not do it at that moment, but can you find what that ready moment feels like?
I noticed it's really easy to, because I was imagining a Frisbee, to overwind and not keep my quad open.
Oh, good
Allowing
point.
this foot to move towards the inside of the foot and the hip.
Good point.
So having to remember to keep that
Yes.
foot firm.
Not here,
Keeps the
here.
claw open. Yep.
Yep. Thank you. I might have even been doing that.
Doing that.
Yeah. And when you do, that ready moment's going to be easier to have, right? Because you may think you're not getting as far, but you're going to be so grounded that the ability to push down, and turn is going to be stronger. So yeah, check that knees and toes are aligned. I wasn't thinking about that, so who knows what was going on with me. I am
wasn't
now.
thinking about it, but I realized I was doing it. I felt it.
This is why another check-in with yourself. So here are some check-ins. When you're practicing in slow motion, so you can practice all these things, you can say, because you're coming back here, and where's your ready moment? And do you have an arch? If you have an arch, you probably your knees are in the right place. Same thing here. When you're when we're coming back, there needs to be this arch still. You can't, come to think of it, I was saying before, maybe most of your weight is on the right. And it could be, but you've really got to be rooted on this left. You've really got so that you have your center secure, because everything turns around your center as you throw. Yeah, Berlin.
So we were doing this move, it would be that like zigzagging step, but so in that case, in a bow stance, you know, you want your mid line to be in the center, whether you're back or forward. When you move back and forward, it stays in the middle. Is that true here, or are you moving that to the front?
You're actually moving it to the center, usually, I believe. So let's actually go just look at the zigzag for a moment. So, you know, you've done it like here, this would be a good one. Like this, like this probably. Then we push off this back foot the way we do it. We actually come, and this foot comes to neutral. We don't really stand completely in the corner. I teach it that way, but it comes to neutral so that all our weight is really here on this leg. And then as we wind up, it goes the other direction. But I've still got most of my weight right here. But I'm rooted. See, if I don't root enough, I don't get this. So it's interesting. I'm not sure, you know, then I watch what happens. So I'm not quite at, I'm still, let's see, my center was here. It's here now, but is it? You know, given that it's in this direction, yeah, I think it is. It is at the, see, I moved the bow step.
Yeah, so you end up in the center after, when you're done throwing the frisbee, you're in the center of that step. Your
Yeah,
tail.
you know what? I think you're absolutely right, and I think that's a correction for me. So I mean, I don't think, and what I said earlier about, yeah, it's you still have more weight back here than might be normal because you're in process, and you do it when you actually do it, you do it so fast that there is this sense of moving that to center.
Yeah.
So you're pushing here, you're moving your Tai Chi pole, but only to the center of the bow step. And starting to unwind, and then finish the unwind and the bend knee.
Yeah, it's easy to get overzealous and just fling it and then move my mid-center way to the front leg a bit more than I should.
Yeah, and you really don't want your knees in front of your toes in this. There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I have a tendency to get like this. No. Here. Why isn't it better to be really, really tight if we want to be stored? Because we're better. There's a perfect way to be a rubber band. And it's called our body shape. You know, we always are trying to get that so that it's not too expanded at any moment. And you know, remember this one? And it's not too, it's tighter. Oh, I want to expand now, but it's not too tight, right? Because this is harder than it, but there is that ability here to sort of let yourself contract and expand. We can all do that, right? We can kind of say it's cold. How do your hands feel? It's really, really cold. And your hands get kind of like this, you know, if you really think about it. Or, oh, be really warm and long, and your hands will naturally do that, right? It's so we learning to control all those little areas are really nice. Any ahas, thoughts, questions? We have about 8 more minutes in Tai Chi Explorations. So where are you at? What do you want to do?
I was aware of feeling or trying to feel and then feeling the circular motion of the lower body, which I was having trouble. When I do it with the hands, I think I'm feeling it, but when you did without the hands, just allowing the arms, I was feeling my lower body doing more back and forth instead of that circular
Isn't it interesting?
energy.
I have the same problem, which is why I think that's good for me. You know, I have the same problem. It ends up feeling back and forth because I don't know, there's something in the visualization of this that
Yeah.
gets me to kind of turn here too, you know?
Mhm.
And there is a I mean, think about it. When you're here, or you know, or where we were in press, right? When you're here, when you expand and release that energy, and this leg straightens, Tai Chi straight, and that energy flies out your upper body, your spine is not down in its real gorilla pose. It carries that energy up with that moment, and then it has to unlock as you come back. It unlocks like a gorilla, and then it's ready to become, you know, connected in a true straight line. Because what we don't want, right? We don't want to be pushing the energy, and the energy have to zigzag its way all the way up, right? So at least that's my memory from some of the anatomy that I have heard about, and I really wish I could see that whole thing again. Yeah. All right, Erlyn.
Yeah, so the thing about, so you know, you there's circles everywhere, you know, and you use a longer circle to store, and you use like a more direct to do a technique, right? But then there's still a circle there, so it's like at the bottom of push, there's still that little circle.
There are circles everywhere. Yes.
Go up. Like you have to pay attention to that too.
There's absolutely a circle at the bottom. When you change direction, there's always a circle. Always a circle. And we really haven't said much about that. I mean, we haven't had enough time. So there's this, you're coming here, but here your center is doing this circle, and then it comes back. If you're, yeah.
So the exercise that I was just playing with is just isolating the hips and letting them circle a little bit.
Yeah, that's it.
Very small.
Coming back, and yeah, and it's this
Relaxing,
too, right?
It's
It's coming back and making sure you have your, that's a nice exercise. I like that. You know, I haven't said this enough, so I'll say it right here at the end of Tai Chi Explorations. The great masters all say, if there's a problem within your form, and I think this was Yang Zhenduo, but I could be getting it wrong, who said it most recently. If you look to your form, and if there's a problem with your form, look first to your feet. But it's look first to your earthquake. That's what I'm gonna say, right? Because my images are in my body. So whatever image works for you, it's there. So you need the arch. You need the arch. You need the center settled down feeling that Gail was chatting about. You need that moment when you feel locked into the ground, except, as Erlyn would say, agile, right? Because this is all ready to move in the center. It's all ready to move, and it's open and it's ready to go anywhere it needs to go. But right after you have released energy, it's not ready yet. It needs to come. You know, it's in the center line often. It's in the center line, but you're gonna come back. And when you store, you're completely connected and ready to go wherever you want to go. Actually, you're able to go where you want to go before then, because you can choose how you want to store. All right, 2 minutes left. How about we drag our fingers through the sand? Any last comments? These are great. This has been such a delightful class.
It has been. Thank you.
All right. We're going to drag our fingers through the sand. This is what Kelly does, and she does it better than I do it, but just reach out and feel the sand. Whatever, cool sand or warm sand, grab some up. Squeeze it, rise up if you want, get a little tense, and relax. Let it all go away. And then with a breath in, drag your fingers, feel the gritty sand come up. Think about the class today and explorations and what kind of explorer you're going to be. We have to do it 2 more times because we have to do a nod number. Here's number 4. Just completely relaxed and long. And one more of however you want to do it, because it's your choice. Thank you, everyone.